Hello there. Today's Tuesday, January 28th, and you're probably like, oh my God, Melissa, you're wearing lipstick. Yes, yes, I am. I'm wearing red lipstick, and there's a reason for that. Jordan the Gray reminded us that red lips is indeed an act of resistance. So, please get your red lipstick out. The one I'm wearing is by a makeup brand that goes by the name of Revolution. And this red is actually called Slow, which is interesting. This is the color before it is on my lips, but that is what I'm wearing. So get out your red lipstick if you are one to wear red lips or lipstick. Wear it. It is indeed an act of resistance. And I will tag her video so you can understand the history behind the color red and why it's worn on our lips in particular. But what I want to do is I want to talk to my spirit guides about what is happening currently with these executive orders and how we should respond to them. I just sat through a wonderful, wonderful full woo circle with Gia Prism, where she did some channeling, and there were some questions about, what are we supposed to do when we see what is going on? How are we supposed to respond? And it is hard for those of us that are not a part of the marginalized communities that are currently being attacked, that for us to say how to respond, it could be mistaken, right? It could be taken as a negative, right? But the channel that Gia had was that we need to remember that none of it is real. And I know that's hard to imagine, that none of it is real, because when we see it affect people that we love, or even in our own lives, it's very much feels real, right? So I want to ask my guides how we should respond. Should we get out into the streets and protest, or is that a bad idea because of potentially Orange Turd invoking the law of martial, right? And so is it a good idea to resist in that way, or are there other ways to do that? And so I want to ask my guides, and I want to say, whatever calls to you, take that. Take what resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, then don't take it. And before I get into this, I want to say fully that I am somebody that is an activist. During the first administration in 2019, on July 4th, within 36 hours, I organized a protest at our local ice factory in Detroit. Outside of that, because I didn't want to celebrate Independence Day while people were being taken and put in cages. I didn't think it was right. I didn't feel free because they weren't free. And I was able to get about 300 people or more in the news there within a matter of 36 hours. So I'm somebody that actively protested during the first administration. So I want to ask my guides, what do we do now? What do we do when we see everything that's going on? How should we respond? And so take what only resonates with you and feels right to you. Okay? And I'm not trying to diminish any movement at all, because I don't know what my guides are going to say. They're going to say what they're going to say. And I want you to understand that I'm not trying to diminish anything or sweep anything under the rug, because ultimately, as a single mother, P25 harms me. Okay, there are things that would harm me, absolutely. And so I don't want anyone feeling like I'm trying to just push anything under the rug and pretend like nothing's going on when we are seeing things that are going on. But we have to be very strategic in how we respond to what is going on, because we could do one thing and it could inadvertently cause something else, right? Now I'm gonna call upon my guides and see what they have to say. Okay? Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna call on the two ancestors of mine that were in the military, my Grandpa George and my Grammy. My Grammy was in the Women's Marines, and one of the things you'll note from Jordan the Gray's video talks about the Women's Marines wearing this beautiful red lip. So we're going to call on those two only today. Grandpa George, Grammy, are you here? Thank you. And to do a calibration for anyone who is watching, do I have a younger brother? No, that's correct. And have I lived in America's High Five for practically my whole life? Yes, that's correct. Okay, thank you for confirming that I do indeed have Grandpa George and my Grammy. Okay, so people want to know how we're supposed to respond to what we are seeing just in the first 8 days of this new presidency. So is it a good idea for us to get out and protest in the streets? No. Is that because if we do, this new administration could invoke the law of martial? Yes. Okay. Are there any executive orders that are just for theatrics? Yes. Are all of these executive orders just for theatrics? Okay. Are any of the executive orders real? No. Okay. So, other than protesting in the streets, are there things that we can do to resist? Yes. Okay. Would you like to spell that out on the alphabet arch? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So I have the letter arch out and I've already calibrated it. I had them go to the letter of my last name, so I know that they are going to go to the correct letters for whatever they want to tell us. Okay. Grandpa George and Grammy, can you please tell us how we can resist or protest this administration? Please go to the letter of the first word. O. Okay, what's after O? Okay, what's after? So the first letter's O. What's after O? B? Are you going, was that a B that you're going to? Yes, okay, so OB, so what's after B? S, what's after S? E, what's after E? We have O, B, S, E. What's after E? Okay, R, what's after R? V, what's after V? E, what's after E? Next word, okay, so observe. What's the next word start with, Grandpa George and Grammy? Are you pointing to the letter D? Okay, so the next word starts with D. What's after D? O, what's after O? N, what's after N? D-O-N, so what's after N? T, what's after T? Next word, okay, so don't. What's the next word start with, Grandpa George and Grammy? I? Are you pointing to the letter I? Yes, okay, all right. So we have the letter I. What's after I? after N? G, what's after G? E, what's after E? S, what's after S? T, okay, what's after T? Next word, okay, so what's the next word start with? So that was ingest, don't ingest. My guides said observe, don't ingest, and then they wanted to go to a new word. So Grandpa George and Grandma and Grammy, what's the next word start with? N? Are you going to N? Yes, okay, all right. So N, what's after N? E, what's after E? E, okay, what's after the double E? D, okay, what's after D? Next word, okay, so we have need. What's the next word start with? P, what's after P? A, what's after A? We have PA, what's after A? T. Are you going to T? Okay, yes. So P-A-T, what's after T? I, what's after I? E, what's after E? N, what's after N? C, what's after C? E, okay, what's after E? Next word, okay, so patience, need patience. What's after patience? Are you saying the message is complete? Yes, okay, all right, thank you, Grandpa George and Grammy. So we have observe, don't ingest, and need patience. I know that can be easier said than done for most, but know that everything is unfolding, things will be revealed, and this is indeed an exercise in the greatest patience. And as hard as it is, do not engage. So observe, don't ingest, and practice patience. Do a lot of grounding work as well. And for those of you that are still on a healing journey, most of us are. Healing is ever evolving and forever coming up. For those of you that are still in the thick of it, continue to do those shadow work. Continue to recognize when things are coming up. Process it and move on. Move on from it as quickly as you can. And quick doesn't mean in a second. It doesn't mean in a day. It's as quickly as you can. So be patient with yourself too. Okay? All right. Release it. Peace be with you.